Welcome to another episode of the House of Ghouls Horror Movie Podcast. We have a very special, very nostalgic episode in store for you guys today. We have an awesome guest today, a returning guest, and someone you just might see here a little bit more on future episodes. Crystal, Ian, how are you guys today or this week?
I'm good. It's currently raining outside right now, so I feel like it's a good vibe for like the podcast episode. Because it's been like dry and like hotter than usual, so I'm in a better mood than I've been the past couple of days.
Stormy and rainy weather is my favorite.
Yeah.
Ian, how about you?
Oh, I'm great, dude. I'm happy to be here. I'm enthusiastic. I was listening to our last week's episode and I was so stoked for it, but I sounded like I'm here. So I'm here. I'm stoked. I'm happy to have Crystal here. So let's fucking do it.
Yeah, I really liked that episode we did with Patrick. It was
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah. I had a blast, but I didn't sound like it.
Speaking of Patrick, what have you read this week? Another new segment we're going to do.
Ooh, well, let's see. Well, speaking of Patrick, I did read Grandpappy, which I think I did tell him that last week.
Hmm.
Yeah, Grandpappy, fucking wild. I finally checked out Aaron Beauregard's Scary Bastard. So it's the first book of his that I've read. I've heard about him for years. Finally checked out one of his books. Scary Bastard is the most violent, fucking vile, crazy, craziest book I've ever read. This shit goes wild.
Yeah,
Uh
or as I say,
yeah.
you told me about that one last night. I started it. I don't have much left. It's only like a 4.5 hour long listen. But yeah, he's not kidding. It's the most violent shit I've ever read.
Yeah. And I mean Patrick said it last week that like Aaron is very he's way more serious
Mhm.
than Patrick. Like Patrick puts in that dark comedy. So yeah, there's not much comedy going
No,
on, and
dude.
it's serious and it is fucked. But no, I really enjoy it, so I'm can't wait to check out more of his work. Then I checked out a little kind of small little book, like 20 some page. It's called The Hotel from Penny Moons. It was a cool little like just quick story. I dug it.
Was it fucked
Um,
up?
not really. It's just more of a kind of straight horror story. But yeah, I gotta put a review out for it. But yeah, it was cool. Dug it.
Cool. What about
What'd
you,
you read?
Crystal?
I have been reading, it was a New York Times bestseller, I think a couple years ago. It's called Into the Dark, Dark Wood, and it's good, but the buildup is taking a while to like get to
Mm.
like the scary parts. Because it's more of like a thriller, and the author is based out of London. So I'll be reading a sentence and they'll use like London slang, and I'll be like, wait, what are we doing? What are we talking about? So there have been some parts that have been like scary, but at this point I'm kind of just trying to be like, okay, like I want to get to the scary parts more. I think I have like 100 some odd pages left, so we'll see how it ends. I'll let you know.
Cool. That's my big gripe with reading like horror or thriller is just how long it takes to get to things. That's why I've really been into splatterpunk lately, is because it's just right from the start. It's fucking in your face.
Mm.
Yeah, there's no
But
boring parts at all.
I read two since our last episode. I started that one called Suffer the Flesh that Patrick told us about, the most fucked up book he's ever read, and it is indeed terribly fucked up, but it has a good ending.
Oh yeah.
That, and then I'm also reading Scary Bastard. I'm almost done, so I should finish it on my way to work tonight.
Hell yeah. I can't wait. Can't wait to hear what you think.
And then after that, I think I'm going to buy The Slob by Aaron Beauregard.
Yeah, that one's on my list too.
That's a one of the ones that everybody talks about of his. It's supposed to be super disgusting.
I mean, with the name like the slob, it better be.
But all right, let's get into what we watched this week. You want to start, Ian?
Sure. So I checked out Live Scream from 2018. It's on Found TV. It's another I mean, it takes place in a live stream, so the whole movie is literally a streamer playing a video game, and essentially, everyone in his chat is part of the game. So if he dies in the game, one of them die in real life. Super indie, but it was fun. I really enjoyed it. I saw a lot of reviews for people that didn't really get into it, but I don't know. I related as far as like a former Twitch streamer and just video game player that it was a good time. Finally, I checked out August Underground.
Yes.
Ooh.
Um, and yeah, it was like you said before, Colby. It's not nearly as fucked up as I was expecting. It is fucked up, but not to the level that I was expecting. But the
Yeah. When you get to Mortem, you'll understand.
yeah, that one's next. But yeah, August Underground. I mean, it came out in 2001, so like it's kind of like a pioneer of
Mhm.
like
For extreme
fucked
horror,
up.
it is.
Yeah.
I think the
So
only one I can think of before that is Sodom, whatever.
yeah, and like Cannibal Holocaust, if you're going way back in the day,
Mm.
Mm.
which I mean at this point it's not even really extreme, other than the animal shit. But
Mm.
yeah, I mean August Underground. I mean it's super raw, super super minimal budget, but I mean I dug it for what it was.
It
The content
definitely,
is fucked.
yeah, content's fucked. It definitely makes you feel uncomfortable, but it's not that fucked up, like as people say. But once you get to Mortem, good. I will never watch that movie again. That's one of the most fucked up movies I've ever seen.
Yeah, I might check it out this weekend.
Yeah.
We'll
I
see.
can't wait. I can't wait for you to text me and be like, what the fuck?
What the fuck?
Two scenes in particular.
Yeah, yeah, we'll see. And then I that was pretty much the main movies I watched this week. I started rewatching this series, Stand Against Evil.
Oh, yes.
Fucking love it.
Hilarious.
Yeah, and nobody talks about it. So I'm almost done with season 3, which is the last one. So I'll probably have a review out for that here in a couple days as well. But yeah, that I love that show. It's so fucking good. But that's all I got.
What about you, Crystal?
So I watch, have you guys ever heard of I think it's from like the 90s, maybe like the later 90s, Man Bites Dog? You
Yes, that one's fucked up too.
Yeah. Okay, so I watched that one because I was curious about it. And it was cool because it was in black and white
Hmm.
and it made it feel like you were watching a movie from like the 20s or something, but it was shot obviously modern time, more modern time than
Hmm.
the 20s. Yeah, that movie was uncomfortable to watch because there was like it was like really dark humor. And yeah, I was a little uncomfortable watching it, but I wanted to watch it because I was curious about like more found footage horror movies that nobody really kind of talks about. And I feel like Man Bites Dog is not one that people really associate with found footage or like talk about a lot. So I wanted to check that one out, and I've been watching a lot of like rewatching a lot of horror movies because I like to kind of analyze them and like deep dive in them and like do like the themes about it. So I rewatched Us, American Psycho, It Follows.
I
Um,
loved your It Follows review.
yeah. So it's kind of like that. Like I'm kind of, I watched Black Swan again. That's kind of what kicked off the whole like, I want to figure out what these movies are kind of trying to, like the underlying themes of everything. And do you guys watch Yellow Jackets at all? I've
Hmm.
been watching, yeah, so I watched the entire first season in like a day. So I didn't do anything the whole day because I watched it. Now I'm on season 2. So that's what I've been watching. And
I love Yellow Jackets. I'm only
yeah.
like halfway through season 2,
Okay.
so I need to get back on it.
Yeah. I feel like I should have probably paced myself a little bit, but they always end on
And
cliffhangers.
you have to keep watching.
I want to know what's happening. So that's why I was like, after watching the whole first season one day, I was like, okay, now I need to take a break because this is crazy. You can't be watching, 8 hours of a series in one day. So let's not do that. Let's reel it back a little bit. So I think I'm on like episode 4 of season 2 now. So
Hell yeah.
What about
Th-
you? What did you watch? I feel
So
like so much stuff.
I watched a few. I watched Bone Tomahawk yesterday.
Hmm.
There's a rewatch. I love that movie. I like westerns, and this one's like a western with like a hint of horror, but when the horror gets there, it's fucking nuts. And I love the cast of that movie. Just everything about that movie. It's strong everywhere, I think. I also binged that. Well, I didn't really binge it. It's only 4 episodes, but that show Adolescence that everyone was talking about. Really enjoyed that. It is slow at times, but it's still like engaging at the same times and wants it keeps you wanting to keep watching to see what happens.
Mm.
And that ending was just devastating. I also watched the new documentary Twister, the Joplin tornado on Netflix, which
Ooh,
I love Mother Nature. I love tornado stuff.
yeah.
And Joplin's only like in 7 or 8 hour drive from me, so I know exactly when that happened in 2011. Very sad. The documentary, it actually made me cry. Extremely sad. Um, I watched the entire franchise of Hatchet again. I love those movies so fucking much,
They're so
and
fun.
I I think that I like them more than the Terrifier franchise.
Ooh, drama.
I think that I think that they're just so I think they're gorier. They're very self-aware and just hilarious. Like I love those movies. And any horror icon that you can think of makes a cameo in those. It's fucking hilarious. And then the last one was a huge surprise to me was Cannibal Comedian. That
What is that?
is
What is that about?
that's Screambox's newest release. It's
Oh,
literally
okay.
he's a stand-up comedian who's also a cannibal.
Okay.
It's
I
very
like that.
it's another one that's very self-aware. It's got a ton of heart and yeah, I enjoyed every second of that one.
Oh
Yeah,
my
it was
God.
a good time.
I have to check it out.
Like when Screambox emailed me about it, I was just like, yeah, I'll check it out. Didn't really think much of it, and then I saw Ian loved it. I saw a couple people just raved about it, so I was like, fine, I'll get to it.
That's
And
so
then
cool.
and then I was mad at myself for waiting so long to watch it. But no, it's fantastic. It's definitely hilarious too.
I'm right there with you on Hatchet. Like,
Oh yeah,
I
yeah.
love Terrifier, but I feel like Hatchet. If I had to choose one, it's gonna be Hatchet.
Yeah, I think that art is more iconic, but
Hmm.
I just enjoy the Hatchet movies more.
They're just fun.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's what like I feel like Hatchet's just fun. I mean, not that Terrifier is not, but I feel like I don't know. I have to agree too. Even though I love Terrifier, don't get me
Well, yeah,
wrong.
I fucking have Art the Clown tattooed on my fucking
Absolutely
skin.
love Terrifier, but no, I feel like they're kind of in the same playing field, but they just have kind of like their own like distinct things about
Mhm.
them. And I remember I think somebody like a while ago had commented and like, oh, you have to watch Hatchet. And I was just like, okay, I'll watch it. And then I was like, I don't know why I didn't watch it sooner.
Yep. And what's funny too is because I've been binging this franchise, and then yesterday I got a notification of a new guest announcement for the Chicago Horror Con flashback weekend, and it was fucking Adam Green. So I geeked out like a little girl. I was so
Mhm.
fucking excited. Like they have like this like the flashback weekend is like the biggest like Chicago Horror Con because they have like Days of the Dead and a couple others. But this year they have like Dead Meat James as a guest, Spencer from Ice Nine Kills, the entire Terrifier crew. There's a ton of people, and then I am most excited now for Adam Green.
Absolutely.
I can't fucking wait.
Yeah, I feel like if Hatchet had come out at the same time as Terrifier, it would have blown up just as much.
I think
Um,
that Hatchet was released way too early. Like it was definitely ahead of its time when it came out,
mhm.
and it's got like a good cult following now. But I think if it was released a little bit later, it could be fucking huge, like Terrifier.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, because Terrifier has all the social media behind it,
hmm
and that's what blew it up.
I think when
And when
Hatchet released, it was
Hatchet,
MySpace.
yeah, yeah, there wasn't really a presence like there is now.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So it definitely would have blown up a lot more if social media was a bigger, like a stronger presence back then.
I agree. I was gonna do a ranking video on Hatchet, but I'm just fucking making a video, just glazing the entire franchise instead.
Yeah, they're all so fucking good.
They are.
Mm.
So the next segment I'm really excited for. Do you have any physical media pickups you got this week?
Oh, absolutely.
Let's see them.
So I finally got The Substance on Blu-ray,
Yes.
because for some reason, at least the Walmarts around me like to sell DVDs of brand new
Yes.
movies. So I went to one that was a little farther out in hopes of finding Faces of Death. But every time I go to any Walmart, they're completely sold out. But I did find The Substance on Blu-ray at that
Fuck
one.
yeah.
In my adventure of trying to find Faces of Death at another Walmart, I came across the Wishmaster collection.
Yeah, I saw your video about it
Yeah,
today and I was dying.
from Vestron Video. Um, in my search of other movies yesterday, I came across the good Jurassic Park trilogy on Blu-ray,
Fuck yeah. Dude, you got some good ones.
right?
Yeah, I was gonna say I love Jurassic Park so much. I think I used to have it on VHS. No idea where it is now, but
And then I didn't buy this one, but it is a book that was sent to me, and I'm excited to check it out. And it's Us by Postmortem, who's a
Yes.
friend on social media. So hell yeah, that's what I got this week.
What about you, Crystal? Do you have any physical media pickups you got this week?
I didn't get any physical media pickups this week because I had to get a new car.
Oh
So,
shit, what kind of car did you get?
well, no, because I lease my cars.
Oh,
So
okay.
I had to swap it in for, and then, down payments and new car payment. So I think the last physical media I did get though, which was actually a really cool find because I found it at a thrift store and I don't have it next to me. It's in a box, is it was like a limited edition of Jennifer's Body. It's has a different cover on the front. It looks like she's like a zombie. So
Was
that's
it the
one I got.
Screen Factory release?
It might have been.
That's a gem to find that in the wild.
Yeah. Yep. I found it. Oh gosh, I think I found it a few weeks ago, and then yeah, I didn't even like open it. Like I still have the cover on it and everything. So that was probably the last thing that I found, and I was super excited about it.
Cool.
Oh yeah.
I got only one piece of physical media, but it is now my favorite piece I own. I got the Walmart edition of the Evil Dead 2013 Steelbook.
It's
I
so
was
pretty.
really I was really upset though because it didn't come with a digital QR code that
That's
I can
gnarly.
watch on my laptop or on my PlayStation, so I still have to rent it every
You
time
still
I
have to run
watch.
it.
Dude, Evil Dead and Detective Pikachu are the two movies that I rent more than anything, just over and over. And I have them both on physical copy.
That's so wild.
I'm just too lazy to put them in my player or anything. Which I was watching Detective Pikachu before we started recording.
I feel like Evil Dead is always got, at least 2013 one is always streaming somewhere too, so you can probably find it.
It actually wasn't streaming for a while, but it is streaming on Shutter now. But
Yeah, okay,
I
that's
still
where I
rented
saw
it.
it.
I
Okay.
still rented it because it wasn't the unrated version that was
Okay. I was gonna say probably it's not the version that you wanted.
And actually, Ian gets to meet Jane Levy tomorrow, so he's gonna tell her that I pay her mortgage and everything for her with the royalties I give almost every week.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I can't wait to tell her that.
Which unfortunately I cannot make it because work, and then I thought I was gonna go, but I have to work tonight. So I would be getting off work at 6 a.m., maybe sleeping for 2 hours if I can get it in, and then driving 6 hours to Cincinnati. It wouldn't work. I would end up in a ditch.
Yeah. It was such a roller coaster. It was like, we're going, we're hyped, and then,
I
oh,
know.
bummed, we're not. And then, oh, wait, we can go for a day. We got this. And then, bummed, but
Yeah,
it's all right.
I was extremely upset.
Oh, that sucks. Yeah, you're supposed to go to that tomorrow.
Yeah, but Ian's still gonna go. He's gonna hang
Good.
out with Victor Gabriel,
Nice.
meet a bunch of cool people. Like Spencer's gonna be there, Corey Taylor's
Okay.
gonna be there. My favorite scream queen, even though she's only been like one movie, Jane Levy.
Two. She's in Don't Breathe.
Oh yeah, she is in Don't Breathe. I love that one too.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah. So do you have any horror news this week?
Oh, I got a few newses.
A few
I
newses?
got a few
I
newses.
can't wait to hear the newses.
So the news is so Netflix is working on a brand new adaptation of Stephen King's scary dog story, Cujo. And apparently, Darren Aronofsky, the
Mhm.
director of masterpieces like Requiem for a Dream, Black Swan,
Mm.
Mother, is in talks to direct. And I think that would go so fucking hard.
With the
Ooh,
tone, oh,
ooh. Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. You go first and then I'll
with
go.
with the tone of how sad Cujo actually is, and even the original, fucking depressing. I don't think they could have picked a more perfect director for
Uh-huh.
this. As
Uh-huh.
long as they don't riddle it with CGI, I think it's going to be great.
Hmm. Yeah, his film, especially because I just because of Black Swan and everything, he's very like he loves his metaphors. He loves using so many different things to represent other things. And one thing he does do, at least in Black Swan, and I think Requiem too, a little bit, is he leaves things kind of ambiguous, to kind of let the audience interpret an ending as
Mhm.
they want to. And I'm curious to see like what he would do given the material, like the source material of Stephen King's books, because I feel like his books, that's not true. I was gonna say his books kind of have a definitive ending, but a lot of Stephen King's stuff, like with The Shining, ambiguous. Are there ghosts? Was it not ghosts in The Shining? Um, and even there was another one I was thinking of, and I can't think of it now. Um, so that'd be really cool to see him do that. Yeah, I'm excited about that. Wow, that's really cool.
Yeah, I feel
Yes.
like with Aronofsky too, like he's not afraid to like have a bummer of an ending.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm
Yep.
curious if they're gonna go with Stephen King's ending.
Mm-hmm.
The original movie didn't. So it'll be interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I can't wait if that happens.
Do you think they're going to go the route as the first one, where there was a dude in the dog costume, or you think it's going to be CGI?
I don't know. It's it's hard to say with Netflix because there's so much shit to CGI with them, but at the same time, they're like they put out good shit sometimes.
For
So
me, Netflix is very hit or miss. The documentaries, I love Netflix documentaries,
Mm-hmm.
but like their originals, when it comes to horror, they're usually a miss. I mean, they do have some decent ones. They do have some good ones, but most of the time it's a miss for me.
yeah, I feel like their foreign movies are always a lot better when it comes to horror, at least.
And that's true in general.
Well, yeah, but I mean, particularly Netflix though.
They should get the dog from When Evil Lurks. Or Where Evil Lurks, the dog that's in the movie. You know what
Hell
I'm
yeah,
talking
Yeah.
about?
Oh yeah.
Could use because I don't know if that actually I don't know. I'm assuming that was a real dog, so
They did have to use CGI for some of it. It's hard to tell,
uh-huh.
but because and like the behind the scenes for that, they say it's like the sweetest dog, and it was hard to get him to do anything.
Hmm. That's my recommendation. Go with a dog like that. Go with the dog and
yeah,
then try to add in the elements of the
Mhm.
CGI after. So,
yeah. I'd be down with that.
I agree with that.
So in other newses, you may have seen you may have seen some of our posts this week that Terror Films released 4 new still images from the upcoming Hell House LLC lineage. Now they don't reveal much, but they do confirm that 2 characters from 2 separate Hell House films are returning. So
Hmm.
Vanessa Shepard and Alice Harper. The images are cool, but the one of Patrick Carmichael, the clown sitting in the chair, is creepy as fuck, and I can't wait for this movie.
I'm hyped.
yeah, me too. I love all the Hell House movies so much. And the clown. You knew they were gonna have the clown. The clown, I think
Mhm.
he's in every single one. So I think it's the last one, isn't it?
Yep.
Isn't this the last one?
Yeah,
And then I think I remember the director said that he wanted to go more of traditional filmmaking
Mhm.
versus found footage filmmaking. So I'm interested to see what he wants to do next.
Yeah. Well, he actually has one coming out. Is it next month?
Mm, yes, I believe. Yeah, I think it's April.
It's what's it called? 825 Forest Road.
Yes.
So that one is also conventional. They dropped a trailer for it last week and it's got some pretty terrifying fucking imagery in it. I'm excited.
That's cool. Wasn't it? Who's the director? Stephen Cognetti, I think is
Yep.
his name. Okay, cool.
Because I mean, that man just in general is a genius filmmaker when it comes to scares, with scaring you without jump scares. And you can already see like he's using imagery in 825 Forest Road. So I'm excited.
Yeah, I can't wait for Hell House because I just want to. I'm excited to see how it's going to be without found footage.
Mhm. And you know that people that have seen it, like they know stuff already. Like
Mhm.
Shudder picked it up real fast instead of like Terror Films doing all this marketing now. Like Shudder's going to be doing it, IFC, and Terror Films still owns this one as well,
Right.
Mhm.
but they're letting Shudder like take the reins for everything. So I think it's going to be really good.
Yeah, absolutely.
Wait, did I ever tell you guys that I've been to the haunted house where the first
No.
one filmed?
Oh
I'm
wait,
so jealous.
I
Yeah.
think you might have told us that other episode. I can't
Maybe.
remember, but I'm still mad.
Yeah, maybe it was either an episode or we said it in passing or
Mhm.
something. But yeah, it was creepy.
Was it fun?
Oh yeah, because it's a regular haunted house.
Mhm.
So yeah, it was really, really cool to kind of see where everything was shot and the way that it was set up versus how it actually looks. Because it just shows you how these movies are like made and how they can like take a seat or take a setting like that and make it look completely different. Because if you're driving past it, I mean, of course it looks cool, but then when you actually see it in the movie, you're like, this looks the same, but like so much grander, if that makes sense.
Did you go in the basement?
Yes. Yep. Mhm.
Oh,
Yep.
whenever I come out to Pennsylvania, we're gonna have to go.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, yeah, they have a yep, during a Halloween time. It's a regular haunted house, so like attraction.
Mhm. Does Stephen Cognetti live in Pennsylvania?
I don't
I can't
know.
remember. We
Where?
talked to him. I can't remember.
I want to say he does, but I
Maybe
also,
like New York, maybe?
yeah, I don't know. I don't remember. I'm not sure. If he does, it's out near like Philly, like that way.
Mhm.
So finally, in news, for all our fellow Terrifier fans and VHS collectors, there's a brand new Terrifier VHS on the way from Witter Entertainment. So the 2016 film will be available in a standard slipcase with new artwork from Neil Fraser, and that artwork is sick. There'll also be a limited gatefold cover with a glow-in-the-dark red tape. Now the art and images for that one are fucking gnarly. I'll post the pics on the video version of this episode. But when you open it up, there's the red tape on one side, and the artwork on the other is of the jack-o'-lantern severed head from the pizzeria. And just the artwork itself is just fucking dope. But those ones will be limited to 250. So definitely don't sleep on those. Check out Witter Entertainment and secure yourself a Terrifier VHS. That's all I got for news.
So are we ready to get into the main topic?
Let's do it.
So the main topic, this was an idea I had. We were gonna do top five, but I didn't have time to cram all these movies in to re-solidify my list. So we'll just talk about it in general. But the topic is Scooby Doo, the nostalgia behind it, how it got us into horror. So I'm excited to talk to you guys about my favorite movies, watching the show growing up. But I mean, I'll kick it off. Fucking every single morning when I was like 3 or 4, I when my mom would be getting ready for work and I'd be sitting in the living room waiting to get dropped off at daycare or whatever, I watched Scooby Doo every fucking morning. And it just
Scooby.
became my favorite fucking cartoon ever. Even though I was like a little older, I definitely went and saw both the movies in the theater still.
Hell yeah. Scooby Doo's the shit.
Dude, it really is.
It is. Yeah, it was. I don't remember how I got into it initially. I'm sure I was like, super little, like seeing the original show on like I don't even like Cartoon Network. Trying to think of like what it aired on though back in the day.
I think it was
But
Cartoon Network.
Mhm.
okay. But yeah, like the OG, like the very original series I watched all the time. But the one that I always loved was the new Scooby Doo movies from the 70s. So it was when they had like the guests like Batman and Robin and the
Mhm.
Globetrotters and Adam's Family. Like I love those episodes so much. And yeah, I mean Scooby Doo is just it's the shit.
Mm.
It's awesome. I love it.
Crystal, what was your introduction to Scooby Doo?
Yeah, I started, my brother and I used to watch it all the time. We used to watch the episodes. Um, and I think I was a little bit older. I think I was maybe like 7 or 8. I think my brother's younger than I am, so he would watch them and I would watch them with him. And I just remember they always had kind of like the same, no, I don't want to say the same like storyline, but there were memorable things about them that they have carried over from like the inception of it to even now these newer movies. Um, and I just remember it being just something that my brother always looked forward to, and I would watch it because I think there was like a show that came on after that I wanted to watch. I'd be like, fine, I can watch Scooby Doo. And then, of course, I started to like it too. So, and then I was like excited about it. So it was cool to kind of watch the movies again, because I haven't watched Scooby Doo in very long time. So it was cool to watch them again.
Which ones did you revisit?
So I actually watched five. I watched the Trick or Treat Scooby Doo. I watched the Witch's Ghost one.
Yes.
Alien Invaders.
The broccoli aliens.
Yeah, the Cyber Chase, and there was another one. Oh, Zombie
I was
Island.
gonna say, please say Zombie
Yeah,
Island.
Zombie Island. Yeah, I watched that one. So.
Dude, the witch's ghost. I think one of my first big crushes were the Hex Girls.
The Hex Girls, yeah. The song that they sing. They actually they sing two songs in there, I think.
Mhm.
They sing the first song when they're rehearsing, and then they sing another song at the end of the episode. So,
Yeah, I remember Hex Girls and Zombie Island were one of my favorites growing up, or two of my favorites growing up. But the two that really stood out to me, like when I was little, ones that I watched over and over were like to a point where my mom had to, when you can record like whatever you're watching on TV on like a VHS tape, she recorded The Reluctant Werewolf and Ghoul School for me.
mhm.
I love The Reluctant Werewolf because it was like this big race and it was just fun. And then just all the other characters in Ghoul School, like they just stood out to me, and I loved even all the side characters in that one.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I
Eh,
have my whole like current horror persona. I have Scooby Doo to thank for
Yeah,
because
exactly.
that's where I got the name. Whenever I was trying to think of a stage
Oh
name,
yeah.
yeah, it all went back to the 13 Ghosts of Scooby Doo with Vincent Van Gogh, and I was like, that works. That's mine now. Scooby Doo on Zombie Island though is forever my favorite.
It's a banger.
It really is, and it's like scary.
It was.
Yeah, yeah. I think I like the Zombie Island one because you saw them like outside of being in the gang. Like we always know them as they're always together, they're always in this gang, they're always going out there and like fighting against the bad guys. And I think this one, like Fred and Daphne have like the TV show, and Scooby and Jackie are working at the
They're like
airport.
fucking TSA agents.
Yeah. And then Velma owns like the bookshop where it's like the a haunted bookshop or
Mhm.
something. So I thought that was really cool. Because you're like, okay, I can see them do different things.
And the things that they're doing, like you can definitely see like that's what they would do in real life.
Mhm. Yeah.
And obviously we were too young to notice like when we were kids, but the underlining like stoner story of Scooby and Shaggy,
Mhm.
it's so
Oh,
funny
right.
watching it now as a kid.
Right, because they're always hungry and they're dressed like they're from the 60s and the 70s, 1969.
Like, what do you
Mhm.
think Scooby snacks really are?
Oh my God, do you think they're like edibles or something?
Gotta be.
I
Like, that's why Shaggy and
didn't
Scooby get courage.
I didn't even think about that. That's funny.
That is funny. Yeah, it's funny to go back and watch all that now because yeah, I mean that one's like the big one, but they're even like the weird like sexual tension. Like there's so many like little like things that you pick up now as an adult. You're like, oh, I see what you're doing there.
Even like the tongue-in-cheek jokes. Gosh, I wish I could remember. There was one, I forget which, I should have made a note, but it was like Fred said something and I started laughing because I was like doing something and I was watching it and he said something that was like very tongue-in-cheek and I was like, oh, a little kid would not understand that, but like an adult would understand it. And I wish I could remember what it was, but it was so funny because I like stopped what I was doing and I was like, rewound it. And I was like, wait, he just say what I think he said? I think it was something with Daphne. He must have said something about her, and I was just like, wait, wait.
Yeah, it's funny how much of that they have and you notice it so much more as an adult.
Mhm.
A lot they have a lot of that in SpongeBob as well.
I was gonna
Oh
say
yeah.
that. I was gonna say that
Yeah.
too, SpongeBob. I feel like if you watch any, see, I don't really watch like more like the kid shows,
Mhm.
but I know if we all watch like any kid show like Tom and Jerry or like Johnny Bravo or like Ed and Nettie or something, if you went back and revisited those shows, you would probably pick up on things like, I remember watching this when I was a kid and I didn't get it, but I get it now.
Yeah, Coda and I, we always, because I mean, we have a fucking basketball team of kids in this house. So we always have kid shows on and shit, and we always notice shit and just like look at each other like they really just say that in
Mhm.
like everything we watch. And another really cool thing about like the old Scooby Doo, one of the like most famous radio voices, Casey Kasem, voiced fucking Shaggy.
Mhm.
I thought that was so cool. And even like as a kid, like when it said Casey Kasem, I was like, oh, I know that dude. They fucking have him on the radio all the fucking time.
Mhm.
Didn't in The Witch's Ghost, didn't Tim Curry voice the what's his name? Ben Ravencroft? Isn't Tim Curry, wasn't he the voice of him?
Now that you're saying that, I can hear it right
I'll say
now, and I
fact
think you're
somebody fact
right.
check me because
Yeah,
I
I think so.
I swear that was his voice.
Let me see. Yep,
He
Ben Ravencroft,
Yeah, it
Ravencroft,
was,
Tim
yeah,
Curry.
that's what I thought. Yeah, he voiced him because when I didn't notice it in the beginning, but then when he turned like evil, when you found out what his true intentions were of like wanting the book and he like changed his whole persona, I was like, I know that voice, and I had to like close my eyes and I was like, how do I know that voice? And then I thought of like Pennywise, but obviously the original. And then I thought of Home Alone when he's in
Mhm.
Home Alone. And I was like, I think that's him. So,
Oh yeah.
Also, how perfect is the casting for the live action movies? Like,
Dude, it's like an all-star cast. It's wild.
I don't think it could be more perfect for who they cast for all that.
I like how it has like between Freddie and Daphne, it's Sarah Michelle Gellar and Freddie Prinze Jr. And like it's kind of gives me like I Know What You Did Last Summer because they were also in that movie together too. But now
Yep.
they're, you know what I'm saying? Like it's kind of cool. It's kind of cool because in I Know What You Did Last Summer, Sarah Michelle Gellar, her character Helen, I think her name was, she was like a damsel in distress. And then when she becomes Daphne, she's not anymore. And that's kind of like how you see Daphne's character progress over the years.
Hmm.
Is like she kind of is always the one who's getting herself into trouble. And as the show got older, like became more modern, she kind of stood up for herself more. So that's cool. It's a little bit of a correlation between Sarah Michelle Gellar's characters over the years.
I've never noticed this before. I don't know if IMDb's on crack, but it says Sugar Ray plays five different characters in this movie.
In the live action movie?
Really?
Yeah, he plays Charles Stan Fraser, Craig Bullock, Matthew Murphy Craigus. He also plays Mark McGrath,
Hmm.
and he plays Rodney Shepherd.
I'm gonna have to rewatch it now.
Yeah, I want to go back and check that out now. And then
That's wild.
I don't remember who voiced Scooby Doo. I can't find it on here. Do any of you guys remember?
I know the original voice of Scooby Doo. His name was like Don something. I think he passed away. Don Messick, I think his name was, that voiced the original Scooby Doo.
Let me ask old Google who voiced Scooby Doo in the live action. Actually, who voiced Scooby Doo in the live action movies? That would have taken forever to type.
It's Neil Fanning.
Okay, good, because nothing was popping up for mine.
Yeah.
God damn it.
Australian actor Neil Fanning. He
Okay.
did the voice of Scoobert Scooby Doo.
Scoobert
Scoobert.
Scooby Doo.
Wait, Shaggy's real name is not Shaggy either, is it? What's his real name? He said it in the Alien Invaders thing when he he introduced himself to the character of Crystal. The character's name in the movie was Crystal, the alien. I don't think his real name is
I
Shaggy.
can't remember what it is.
Norville. Norville.
Yes,
Yeah, that's
yes.
what it is. That's
Norville Rogers.
Yep.
yeah.
Old
Fuck yeah.
Norville.
Yeah, because he said, my name is Norville, but you can call me Shaggy. And I was like, wait, I don't remember him having a different name besides Shaggy.
Yeah,
It's wild.
I think out of anybody, I think Matthew Lillard was the most perfect casting for Shaggy.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
And then he even went on to like do some of the voicing for the cartoon movies after.
Yeah, he did a
God,
bunch of them.
that's another celebrity I need to fucking meet is Matthew Lillard, man.
Yeah.
He's been in so that's interesting to think about too, because he was in like Five Nights at Freddy's 2, which is technically like obviously it's a game. But like I think it was Five Nights at Freddy was catered to like kids, right?
Mhm.
And then it kind of got picked up by adults and everything too.
Like young teens.
Yeah. So that's cool that he's kind of all over the place with that
Mhm.
stuff. So it's cool that he did that.
And then also we didn't even talk about Linda Cardellini as
Yeah.
Velma.
Hmm.
Perfect. I love her so much.
Same.
I remember watching Scooby Doo and then years later seeing Grandma's Boy. And I was like, that's Velma. I was like, I didn't know Velma was so hot.
I feel like they probably maybe they did it on purpose because I feel like Velma's kind of like Daphne's always the one that's kind of gets like, oh, she's super hot, but I feel like
Mhm.
they purposely picked her to play Velma for that too. I like that.
Yeah, I agree.
That's cool.
Ian, do you have what else do you have about Scooby Doo?
Well, I went out looking for Scooby Doo movies because I love Scooby Doo, but I haven't kept up with Scooby Doo.
Mhm.
And I found a couple, but there's one that stood out, and I watched it last night, and it's one of my new favorite Scooby Doo movies. And it's Scooby Doo meets Courage the Cowardly Dog.
Yes. I still haven't seen that one.
I was gonna say, I don't think I've seen that one. I
It
didn't know
was
there was a crossover.
Yeah, I didn't either until I found it. But yeah, it's literally like the perfect like mesh of both.
Hmm.
And it was just a lot of fun. So definitely recommend that one.
The was it somebody from Courage the Cowardly Dog just passed away like 2 days ago?
I
Was it the
just read
writer?
that. Yeah, I didn't see who it was, like what role he was in the show. But yeah, I literally saw that as I was watching that movie, and I was like, oh, that's ironic.
Yeah, it's kind of like how when I was watching Super or what was it, Starship Troopers, I saw the reboot news. I was like, hell
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Do you think there's been any other cartoon or like show that has had as many crossovers as Scooby-Doo?
No,
Because you
dude,
have
there's so
Scooby-Doo
many.
crossing over with Batman, other DC people, John Cena, other cartoons. It's
Yeah.
crazy. They even did a crossover with Supernatural. I forgot about that.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
completely
No,
forgot about the Supernatural episode.
Yeah, I don't think so.
like it's one cartoon that has just like stood the test of time. The fact that it's like still relevant and it started back in the 60s.
Mhm.
There's so many like diehard Scooby-Doo fans. Like I was reading some of reviews on some movies and like doing a deep dive into Reddit and like there's people that are like fully locked in to the lore and everything about it. Like I didn't even know that it was like a whole huge thing with like a fan base dedicated to it,
Hmm.
with where they're like talking about the different voice actors over the years and the things that they like, things that they don't like, and how like the animation has changed, and all these people, they have so much knowledge about it. Um, which I think is really cool because it's, I guess because like we're all of us like we're very tapped into like horror movies. So like it's easy for us to kind of just like pull things out really quick about what we know about horror movies. And I guess you don't really see that anywhere else. Maybe in like video games and things like that, but like I can't really think of another example of another genre. Maybe besides like Marvel movies, of course, and like superhero movies and things like that. But like I didn't real maybe not in the cartoon world, I guess I should say. Like I don't see that much dedication to maybe SpongeBob, maybe, but I feel like maybe in 20 years,
Mhm.
Hmm.
those people that are watching, SpongeBob now will be in those Reddits talking about how it's evolved. Which I think is really cool because they love Scooby Doo and like they're so knowledgeable of it.
I know it's crazy.
I was like, I can't even like it was like opening up a new world reading these threads of people talking about like, well, this animation was this and this, and then they went back to this. Now they're doing this now.
And I loved for it being like in the 60s and 70s, like the animation still holds up so well.
hmm
It's still so easy to watch.
hmm hmm I also think I like how the they like keep up with the modern times, and they like there's so many things that a lot of fans want to know. Like, is there something going on between Fred and Daphne? Like, what's Velma? What's her sexuality and those things? And I feel like they've answered those questions with the newerish movies, um, which I think is cool, because they really are paying attention to what their true fan base wants to know about these characters.
Mhm.
Like they're not ignoring them. They're throwing in like little things here and there. Especially with like Trick or Treat Scooby Doo when they with Diablo, I think her name was. She was the one that Velma had a crush on.
Mhm.
And like you didn't see that really before. And it was just like, oh, okay, cool. Like they're addressing the fact that for so many years there was all these rumors that Velma, you know, this was her sexuality. So that's cool that they do that.
Yeah, I agree.
Hmm.
Did any of you guys see the newest big movie release? It was just Scoob, the one with Zac Efron in it.
I don't think so.
I
It's a
don't think I saw it.
cartoon. It's a cartoon. It's when they're kids. It's like how they all meet and everything. I actually really enjoyed it.
Yeah,
Huh.
I didn't check that one out. I heard about it, but I didn't see it.
I think like I have yet to see like a bad Scooby Doo movie or episode. I mean I haven't watched some of the other ones like I can't remember what like Scooby Doo Mysteries or something.
Mystery Inc. Yeah.
Yeah, I
Hmm.
haven't watched some of them, but the ones I've watched, I've yet to see a bad movie or episode, even from the 70s and all that.
Hmm.
Yeah, for sure.
Hmm.
Let's say
I,
the only thing that I've seen that I'm not a fan of, and it's not a part of the whole franchise, if you will.
And you say Velma?
It's Velma.
I didn't really
Fucking
dig it.
terrible. I could not do it.
I was really excited for it too. I thought the whole gang was going to be in it, but no, it was just Velma. Like it
Yeah, I was
had
excited.
some funny moments and it was definitely gory and for adults, but
Yeah, and that's what I was excited for. I was like, oh, like we'll get like adult Scooby Doo. Like
Mhm.
fuck yeah, like that's what I've wanted. And yeah, it's just fucking annoying. It's
Yeah.
bad.
I think I read something about how they couldn't get the rights to do like the whole gang and put Scooby Doo in there, which I'm kind of glad because I don't like as much as I love Scooby Doo, I don't want to see him kind of tarnish it and put like really crude innuendo and just fucked up stuff in there. So I don't know. I think it was for the best.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right. They toe the line enough with the
Yes.
that they add in, and yeah, then you're kind of going into like a weird territory.
Mhm.
It's like what are we doing here? Like we don't need to. We don't need to go into that kind of realm over there. Like we're
Agreed.
good. We get it. We get it. There's funny jokes. There's tension. We understand. We don't actually need to see it.
Didn't it get canceled?
Probably. I don't know.
Probably.
I'm not sure.
Well, fuck.
But speaking of all that, uh, I do like to think of like what a cool mashup would be, as far as like the Scooby and the gang against a horror icon.
Ooh.
So what would be a horror icon you would love to see Scooby and the gang go against?
I'm trying to think because like I'm thinking like classics because I feel like they you would think it would be like a classic, so it'd have to be like the top one. So it'd be like Michael, Freddy, Leatherface. I think those would be like the go-to ones. But like for me, I think that I would want to see him go against like I don't even know, like like the strangers.
That'd be a good one.
Something something like that like because you would assume that it would be like okay yeah Michael Myers or Freddy Krueger or something because those would all be really cool but I'm trying to think like a little bit deeper into or like maybe like a family like the Ready or Not family or something you know what I mean
That'd be
like
funny
something
too.
like that.
Ian, was that on here where I talked about the mashup between the Strangers and the Griswolds?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
That would be fucking amazing. I still think about that.
Yeah.
But I have a good one that I think Scooby Doo would fit in well with.
What's that?
Scooby Doo and the Gang versus Deadites, but in the Evil Dead 2 universe.
I love that.
Okay, I can see that. I could see that.
Because the camp is perfect for it.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Not
That'd be
not Evil Dead
amazing.
2013. Not that one.
No, that
Not
one's
not
too
for this.
no,
Not for
that
this.
one's too serious.
For every other situation, but not for this.
They'd probably kill Scooby in that one. I couldn't handle that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it would be like not good.
No. Like you saw what they did to Grandpa. We can't let that happen to Scooby. But yeah, Scooby Doo versus Deadites and Evil Dead 2. That's mine.
I love it. And mine would be Victor Crowley.
I was thinking that one crossed my mind. The first two that crossed my mind were Art the Clown and Victor
I
Crowley.
was gonna
Yeah.
say Art the Clown too. That's funny.
And
Because I've seen, or go ahead.
it's mainly because I want to see Victor Crowley in animated form.
Have you seen like those little mashups that people make like on Facebook and share them and stuff of like Scooby Doo being chased by Art and
Yeah.
Michael
So
Myers and stuff?
yeah, funny enough, I have that in my notes because the artist that does all that, his name's Travis Falligant. He's IB Trav on Instagram. But yeah, he's the one that makes all those.
That's awesome.
Yeah, he's an amazing artist. So yeah, I was gonna give a shout out to him to for everyone to go check out his work because yeah, he does like I think he's done just about every single mashup you can think of with Scooby against some sort of horror icon.
Hell yeah. Also, Ian, are you wearing a Jurassic Park shirt under your flannel?
Yes,
I can just see the line of the red
just
and
the tip.
yellow, and I knew.
Absolutely.
That's awesome. Crystal, do you have anything else?
About Scooby Doo? I don't think so. I think it was cool to kind of revisit it again.
Mhm. It was fun.
It's been a really now that I have because um a lot of it's streaming on Max. So now every time I go on Max, because it's where I watched everything, it'll pop up in my recommended now because I watched so much of it. So it's cool.
I I just thought of the next episode we can have Crystal on for too.
Oh yeah.
Um, and instead of doing a whole deep dive breakdown because it's so fucking long, would be X-Files.
Oh wow.
Oh geez. I think I've seen like 2 episodes of X-Files. You guys
So
are
so
making me work. That's what
so
I have to
that's
say.
that's perfect though. So when we do the X-Files episode, we'll each pick an episode and then we'll just have to watch like 3 episodes. So we'll rewatch the one that we pick and then the ones that we pick for each other. Because like
That's
you know
cool.
how everybody's obsessed with Supernatural and everything?
hmm
X-Files is what I grew up on, and I was an X-Files nerd growing up. Like I could not wait for The Simpsons to be over, like growing up on it every Sunday because an X-Files comes on after.
See,
Hell yeah.
I love Supernatural, so I feel like I watch, yeah. I like X-Files though. I haven't watched an episode in so long.
And like I don't mind Supernatural at all. I just thought it's just X-Files, but for teens.
Yeah, yeah, no, absolutely.
But
I
yeah, like I dig Supernatural. It's same as X-Files, like Monster of the Week kind of thing. But X-Files, there's a few episodes that fucking traumatized me as a kid. And
I
like
was just gonna say that. I was like, I feel like I watched an episode. It's probably buried in the back of my brain now because it was so traumatizing, but I feel like I cried because I was like, I can't watch this anymore.
you know the Johnny Depp Willy Wonka movie?
Mhm.
And you know the one little person who played all the Oompa Loompas?
Oh,
Mhm.
yes,
There's
yes.
an episode of X-Files where he has like no legs and he
Yeah.
pushes himself on like this little board with wheels. Fucking that fucked me up as a kid. Like I thought I was gonna hear like the squeaky wheels when I'm like laying in bed at night. Traumatized me.
Ugh.
Yeah, you just unlocked that memory. Fuck yeah.
Dude,
Uh, maybe that's what it was. Maybe that's a repressed memory that I'm having, and now it's gonna come back, and I'm gonna
fucked
wake
me
up.
up. And then, dude, there's so many good ones. The Lake Champlain episode about like the Lake Champlain, like Loch Ness Monster kind of thing.
Mhm.
So many fucking good ones.
Mhm.
So yeah, when next time you're on Crystal, we are gonna do an X-Files one.
Yeah.
But yeah, do we have anything big coming up?
Um, let's see. I got the this weekend. We're doing remote press for the Unnamed Footage
Yes.
Fest.
I completely forgot to say that.
Yeah. We're doing remote press for Overlook. And yeah, we have a couple cons and movies this summer.
Fuck yeah.
But yeah.
So I did that. I did the Milwaukee Con this last weekend. It was very small, but it was the first time they've ever ran it. And but I did get to meet a lot of cool people. So I've been listening to this one podcast for like I think 3 or 4 years because they're like 40-minute drive from me to Milwaukee. But we never like hung out in person, but we got to meet there. I was on their we did a little podcast for like 10 minutes while I was there with them. I sat down and talked to them. I got to hang out and talk to Dave Sheridan for like 20 fucking minutes. That was awesome. I met, I already forgot the dude's name, but Wesker in Resident Evil.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But he signed my Days of the Dead steelbook cover for me. But I met the Chivis guys again, the people who did Torture the Flesh behind me. So I didn't know that he was so close to me too. So I told him, I was like, you never need to kill somebody, let me know. He's
Oh,
like,
hell yeah.
I actually have probably do like bigger parts and shit like that for you as well. I was like, say less.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, I met some people. I met
I'm
uh
sorry. Yeah, out of context. It's so funny. If you ever need to kill somebody, let me know.
oh yeah, we always ask that whenever we have a guest on.
It's so funny.
Um, I also met up with Joe Lamb, the director of The Fetus, which like it's a fine movie. I didn't love it or anything, but they're having a screening for it next month in Broadhead, Wisconsin, which is like a half hour from me. And they asked if I wanted to like open it up and like moderate it and everything. So I was like, yeah, that'd be fucking awesome. So I'm gonna go ride go-karts with like all the cast and crew and shit, and then go open up the screening for them.
That's all. I love that. That's an amazing opportunity.
Yeah, I'm
And
hyped.
Cool.
and that's your one way you can get Bill Moseley on the show.
Yeah, I don't know if
God, I don't
Bill
know
or
what I talk to him.
I
I
don't
would just
know if
pass away.
Bill or Lauren's gonna be there. I know there's a couple that were gonna be there. I know they're trying to get Bill and Lauren, but that would be gnarly.
That would be. I'm half kidding. If you can do it though.
Yeah, we do need Bill on here.
Well,
But
Crystal, you have any events, any cons, any
No,
festivals?
I am a corporate girly who works too much, and I just like to watch horror movies in the meantime, and I live vicariously through the two of you. That's how we're gonna roll with this.
Fair enough.
well, Crystal, if you ever like when you become part of the podcast in the future,
Mhm.
We always ask every director we have on here if they'll kill us in a horror movie, so you might have to come on a horror movie with us.
I can make time for that, of
Okay,
course.
okay.
Of course I can, absolutely. But I feel like you guys have your the conventions and everything on lock. I feel like my job would be like, what are you doing? So,
No, in the future when we start doing like meetups and shit, you're definitely gonna
oh yeah,
be
for
part of
sure.
it.
Yeah, of course. So, but
We'll
just
make it
for the
happen.
listeners, I'm here living vicariously through the two of these guys, and I like to hear everything they have to say because I have an annoying 9 to 5 job that needs me all the time. So,
I feel that.
Yeah.
What about you? Do you have anything else, Ian?
Um, no, I don't think I do. I think that's all I got for this week.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think I'll make a no, no, I'm not gonna do a physical media run before next episode because I'm gonna go to the con next week. So hopefully I can get some cool pickups at the con.
Yeah. That's what I'm hoping for this weekend too.
I'm
For
so
sure.
jealous.
I know. I'll just gonna FaceTime you the whole time anyway.
Good,
You'll be there with me.
good.
have you ever seen those little things you can get on at Disney World where they put like you can like magnetically clip things right here and it like looks out like Ratatouille. You should get something like that, like a little Colby stuffy and like put like a little camera in there so it's like he's there the whole time. Like
Do they
it's
do they have overnight
Uh,
shipping?
yeah,
yeah.
right. That's what I need. I need a Colby stuffy.
Yeah,
Put it on my
your
shoulder.
shoulder.
Right on
Let's
my shoulder.
go.
Just keep you with me at all times.
All times.
But yeah, no, I think that's all I got for this week. You have anything else, Colby?
Nope.
You gonna wrap it up? You want me to?
You're better at wrapping up.
Aw. Crystal, anything else to add?
No,
Wait,
it's
speaking
raining.
It's rain. It's still
speaking of
raining.
wrapping up,
Still raining.
I finally got a fetus condom.
Oh, look at that.
Look at this marketing, dude. The fetus.
I do love the marketing for
Oh,
sure.
I think I saw that on somebody's story. That's so funny.
Dude, I love it. And it's got like a cute QR code to scan and everything.
That's
But yeah,
great.
I had to throw that joke in there because you said wrap it up.
Yeah. Always got to wrap it up. You have to get a hold of them and be like, Colby needs more of those. He's got too many damn kids.
You're not wrong.
But all right, that'll do it for another week of House of Ghouls. As always, make sure you're following, subscribed, all that fun shit. All of our links are in the social, or all of our social links are in the show notes. So hit us up there and check out the merch at goalsquadshop.com. Join the Discord, join the Patreon, all of that. Shout out to Goalie Jolie again for holding it down over there. But Crystal, thanks again for joining us. And we're excited to have you join us more often as well.
Yay, thank you. I'm so excited.
We need some diversity on this show.
Right.
I can do it.
But to everyone watching and listening, we appreciate you watching and listening, everything you do. Again, make sure you like, follow, subscribe, share, spread the word, get our name out there. We appreciate it. But until next week, stay safe out there. We love you.
Gang, gang. Crystal, do you have a sign off that you want to
Oh my gosh, I could
like
be
a
like
little word?
bye.
At least it wasn't super basic.
What if everything you know is someone else's dream?
There you go. That's it.